Mr. President, honourable members, good morning, and many thanks for giving me the opportunity to participate at this debate, which is dealing with the upcoming European Council. Normally, I would start by presenting the usual agenda of December European Council, which is mostly dealing with economic and internal affairs, but today the latest events demanded I start by addressing Syria. We all follow with grave concern the dramatic developments in Aleppo, and the situation is tragic and unfolding very quickly. To allow for humanitarian access, let me stress that an evacuation of those in need is key, as well as cessation of hostilities and the issue of accountability for violations of international law. And these issues, let me assure you, will feature in the discussions of leaders tomorrow. And I'm sure the situation will also be an important element in our debate this morning, and I'll be listening very carefully to you. Honourable members, there are different items on the agenda of the European Council that will start tomorrow, but all of these items have one in common, namely the shared objective to deliver on concrete issues that matter for our citizens. In June and October, I'd like to recall, the European Council set clear and ambitious goals. A very clear picture is emerging today, namely that the EU is delivering. This shows that the European Union has the means to tackle challenges and is capable of finding common solutions. On migration, let me start with that. This remains a top priority. The leaders are determined never to allow a return to the situation of last year, and of course to further bring down the number of irregular migrants. Closing the Western Balkans route last February was a first vital step to securing the external borders. Since then, other important steps have been taken. The European Border and Coast Guard became operational last week, and national efforts have been considerably increased. The number of arrivals in Greece remain very low. The European Council remains committed to implementing the EU-Turkey statement. In the central Mediterranean, far too many are still being lured into risking their lives by stepping into a boat. Given the difficult situation in Libya, the European Council agreed to start working upstream with 5 African countries of origin or transit. Leaders will look at progress and are also expected to call for more support for the Libyan Coast Guard. Apart from that, it is important to address root causes of migration in partner countries. The new ambitious external investment plan and the European Fund for Sustainable Development will be key, and I'm confident that talks with the Parliament will start soon, as the Council adopted its negotiation position yesterday. Talking about security, citizens of course need to feel protected, and this is true for internal security. Just think about external borders or terrorism. And of course, this is very much valid for defence as well. Here, a big responsibility lies with national governments, but the EU can bring added value. On internal security, Parliament and Council negotiators have reached important agreements on counter-terrorism and checks at external borders. I expect that the European Council to encourage us to also work diligently on the entry-exit system on ETIAS and on ETIAS, the system to systematically screen visa-exempt travellers. On defence, Europe needs to do more for its own security and defence. On Thursday, leaders will want to signal that the EU is ready to deliver more. In November, the Council, I'd like to recall, adopted a concrete plan on strengthening the CSDP as a part of implementing EU global strategy. This should also strengthen the European pillar in NATO. Those two aspects have to go hand in hand, as requested by the Warsaw Declaration on EU-NATO strategic partnership. The presence of NATO Secretary-General Stoltenberg is a strong signal in that sense. It is under the heading Economic and Social Issues and Youth that leaders will review investment and FC 2.0, the implementation of the single market strategies and initiatives in favour of youth. The Council is now ready for negotiations with the Parliament on FC2. Our Maltese friends will take this work forward. On the single market, many proposals are on the table and negotiations are ongoing for citizens and businesses to reap the benefits of those initiatives. We as co-legislators need to deliver speedily. To keep the momentum, the heads will take stock of progress tomorrow. They will come back to this in March. Furthermore, the European Council will look carefully into initiatives to address youth unemployment and to promote skills development and mobility. In this context, the European Council will call for the continuation of the Youth Guarantee and welcome the increased support for the Youth Employment Initiative. Mr. President, honourable members, let me conclude by adding that under the external relations component of the European Council's agenda, which I have evoked at the outset with Syria, leaders will also look at the ratification plan by the Netherlands of the EU-Ukraine Association Agreement. Mr. President, this was on the European Council's agenda, but before I finish, I'd like to switch to German, da ich dafür einen besonderen Grund habe. Ich möchte sehr gerne diese Gelegenheit, Herr Präsident, nutzen, um mich bei Ihnen zu bedanken für aber nicht nur die letzten 6 Monate der Zusammenarbeit zwischen der Ratspräsidentschaft und dem Europäischen Parlament. Martin Schulz, das wollte ich auch sagen, ist mir wichtig, hat das Europäische Parlament zu einer selbstbewussten Institution aufgebaut. Ich habe dies bei zahlreichen Treffen und Verhandlungen erlebt. Ich freue mich sehr, dass die Zusammenarbeit zwischen unseren Institutionen gerade dank des Engagements von Martin Schulz viele konkrete Erlebnisse für unsere Union, aber insbesondere für unsere Bürgerinnen und Bürger gebracht hat. Lieber Herr Präsident, Sie haben unsere Union mit all ihrer Energie, Führung und rhetorischer Begabung verteidigt und geprägt. Ich bin davon überzeugt, dass Sie für dieses Projekt mit der gleichen Kraft und Begeisterung auch von Berlin aus kämpfen werden, wie Sie es seit mehr als 2 Jahrzehnten von Brüssel und Straßburg aus immer getan haben. Dabei wünsche ich Ihnen viel Kraft und Mut, die Sie im nächsten Abschnitt Ihrer politischen Karriere und Ihres Engagements für Europa brauchen werden. Herzlichen Dank, Herr Präsident, und alles Gute. Thank you very much.
Vielen Dank, Herr Korczok, für die freundlichen Worte am Ende, die meine Person betreffen. Ich nehme das vor allen Dingen als Ihre persönlichen Bemerkungen hin, denn wenn der Rat mich jetzt in dieser Form lobt, dann habe ich eventuell als Präsident des Europaparlaments etwas falsch gemacht. Also